Hello everybody, Blugoblin here, the greatest goblin that ever lived, is here with another special video here. Here recently I saw my bro, TheMtVernonKid. He has started a thing that he was challenged to by a dear friend of ours, Serena Sampson, aka the Princess of Geeks. And if y'all are watching, yo bro, hey girl. I decided I want a piece of that. What Chris has started is what he calls the Gail Simone Challenge. And saw his first pick. Not bad, not bad. And of course, Gail commented on his video saying, I've already wrote Magdalena, I believe is what he calls her. But I decided I want to do this challenge. I want to take the Gail Simone challenge, but instead, I want to do it my own way. Instead of doing one character a day for 10 days, I got all 10 right here. And I got them written down. I wouldn't say this is a definite order, except maybe the top two. But I just wrote down 10 titles. I came up with 10 titles and then wrote them down. 10 titles and or characters that I would personally like to see Gail Simone write. And I even, promoted this or hyped this, however you want to call it, on Twitter. And I swear I'm not making this up. As soon as I tweeted that I was wanting to do this, it wasn't even a minute later, Gail Simone herself retweeted it. So I know she's probably looking forward to this. But this is my own take on the Gail Simone Challenge, my top 10 list of characters and or series that I would like to see Gail Simone write. Some of these may surprise you. Okay, fair warning, this is a little bit more toward the mainstream side than the indie side, but I still think some of these titles or characters may surprise you. Alright, number 10. We're going to go really old school with this. Valiant Comics has done this in the past, and I loved it. Thought it was great. And I would love to see, hell, why not Valiant do it again and see if they can find the time to get Gail Simone to write a series based off this franchise. And I'm talking about The Legend of Zelda. Yes, for those of you who don't know, Valiant Comics once did a Legend of Zelda series. It didn't last very long, but man, it was great. And going back and looking at some old issues, it was a really good read. It was based off the first two original games on the NES. And it had its seriousness, and it had that cheeky appeal from the old animated series. But I thought it was a good series. I enjoyed it then. I enjoy it now. And if a Legend of Zelda comic book series was ever to be done again, I wouldn't mind seeing Gail Simone take a whack at it. Alright, number 9. And this, I almost tried to think of something else, but then I remembered that Gail has stated herself that she would like to take a whack at this particular couple. And I'm talking about SpiderMan and Mary Jane. Now I'm going to cheat a little bit on this one. When it comes to SpiderMan and Mary Jane, you can do anything you want. Gail, I would give Gail free reign to do whatever she wants with them. She can either continue the storyline of the Renew Your Vows couple. She can do, wouldn't mind her seeing her do a Spider-Man Loves Mary Jane series that Sean McKeever had done in the past. Or she can do something herself. It's like, I would like to see her do at least a mini-series. At the very least, a mini-series based off of the Spider marriage. I would love to see that. Who knows? She might do a good job with it. Coming in at number 8, I would think maybe Teen Titans. Teen Titans. And no, I'm not gonna suggest the Wolfman Perez lineup, even though that is my all-time favorite lineup for the Teen Titans. But if she were given the task of writing a Teen Titans comic book, I would say, Gail, just put your own team together and just go with it. I would love to see what you got in store for the Teen Titans. You know, and I'm also not going to be nitpicky and demand that Starfire be a part of it. You just, just get your own characters, put together your own lineup, and go. Go with it and see what you can do. Who knows? With Gail's ability to make me give a damn about almost every single character that she writes, I think a Teen Titans book would be a great fit for her. Number 7. The most powerful woman in the universe. She-Ra. Yeah. DC has done a lot. DC, Marvel, all kinds of other companies have done wonders with He-Man. But I want to see a series based on She-Ra. And I would like to see Gail Simone do it. She-Ra. Yeah. Dan Abnett did such a great job with her in his last run with He-Man. But, if he can't do it again, then I say Gail give it a try. For the honor of Grayskull. Number 6. Character I haven't seen in a long, long, long time. I got disconnected with this character. And I think Gail would be the perfect writer to bring me back to this character. To bring me back and re-embrace this character again. And that's Songbird. She has been in all kinds of books, but I can't remember, and I can't recall for the life of me, if Songbird has ever had her own series. I think, once again, going back to the whole Gail's ability to make everybody seem important, make every character seem like they matter, seem like they have a purpose, make every character feel like they're a big deal. This is one of those characters that I think she could easily resurrect and easily reconnect with readers. She would certainly reconnect Songbird with me. If I ever saw in a previews or in a solicitation somewhere that there's going to be a Songbird series written by Gail Simone, I'm like, sign me up. I'm on it. Number 5. Now, Gail, if you're watching, I picked this just for you because you and I both have talked on Twitter about how much you love this. You've shown me pictures of this stuff, and I've shown you pictures of this stuff. So if you're watching, please, I'm probably going to make you nerd out. But I would personally like to see you write a Disney Infinity comic book series. Oh my God, the possibilities are endless. The amount of crossovers you can do. You can have like one issue. It would basically be like DC Comics Bombshells. Just do it with the Disney characters and leave out the Marvel characters and leave out the Star Wars characters and just focus on just pure Disney characters, because we got enough Marvel characters in the Marvel books and we got the Star Wars characters in the Marvel books. We don't need them. Just focus strictly on Disney characters. And can you imagine the amounts of crossovers you can get? Like Aladdin and Mulan, or, oh man, you get all kinds of stuff. Like Mr. Incredible and Buzz Lightyear or whatever. Oh man, just the possibilities are just endless. You can get so much stuff. You can get so much good stories, so many crossovers, and I think Gail would just have a blast doing it. I would have a blast reading it. I mean, a Disney Infinity comic book series, I would personally love to see that, and I think she would too. Alright, coming in at number 4, this is personal interest of mine. I don't know how she would feel about this one, but this has actually been on my mind for years. It's a title that I would personally like to see her try. And for this one, I'm going to have to be needy. Because there's been many different interpretations of this as well. And for number 4, I put down Batman and the Outsiders. If you're going to have Gail Simone write a Batman title, why not go the extra mile and bring in the Outsiders? I mean, you can... Oh, and I want the original lineup. The original 1984 lineup. Batman, Black Lightning, Halo, Metamorpho, Geoforce, and Katana. I want the original lineup of Batman and the Outsiders. And you can take this. You can have... I would love to see Gail do like a reuniting or a reunion storyline. And I would personally like to see her try and write this series just as well as she wrote Secret Six. I think you can give it that Secret Six kind of vibe, and oh my God, I think it would be so good. It would be so incredible. Every character in this story would have a purpose. Every character would have a meaning. Every character would connect with the readers, both, from a fan base status and from an emotional status. You can get all kinds of stories told, and I think Gail would do a marvelous job with this if she really put her heart to it and really truly devoted herself to a title like this. Personally, for me, I think it would be great. Number 3, I put on here for laughs because for my number 3 pick, it was more like a what the hell kind of pick. And that's Harley and Ivy. Harley Quinn's got a series, Poison Ivy's got a series. I want a nut, and it's not the first time Harley and Ivy have had a series, but I'd love to see one done with Gail Simone's writing. And I think this would be an appropriate way for Gail to embrace more of her comedic talents when it comes to her writing. You can get so much more humor out of these particular characters, and I think Gail would do a great job with it. I mean, nothing much else to say. And I wouldn't be a damn bit surprised if Gail were to, expand even further Harley and Ivy's actual relationship. Because it's no longer a matter of are they or aren't they, but it's like now it's become a matter of how often and when. It's like it's kind of given the way these characters are being developed right now. It's kind of giving off that kind of vibe, and I think if you were to give Gail Simone something to do with these two characters, I think you can not only stretch them out, you can have them better developed. You can branch out the comedy more, yet keep the seriousness intact. It would be great. I really do. I really do think that. Now, my top 2 picks, I really think Gail could do a marvelous job at for many different reasons. But number 2, and this was almost number 1, but my number 1 pick, it will surprise you. But number 2, Batwoman. Oh, I think Gail would be one of the closest to perfect writers to resurrect this character. DC did such a horrible job just utterly butchering this character after J.H. Williams III left the title. They just fully butchered this character, and it was more like when the Batwoman series got canceled in the New 52, it almost felt like a mercy killing. And I believe I'm quoting a friend of mine, but I don't remember who it was that said it. But it was more of a mercy killing that the Batwoman series got canceled when it did. But if you were going to give Batwoman another try, I'd say it has to be Gail. It would have to be Gail. I don't think Gail has too much knowledge about this character. She's more close to characters like Batgirl. But if you give Gail the time and you give Gail the proper what's the terms I'm looking for here? You give her the proper amount of time and you let her do what she wants. Don't micromanage, don't nitpick, Don't look over her shoulder and go, no, that's not right. Do that, do that, do that. Don't do that, do that. Don't do any of that shit to her. Let her take her time. Let her get attached to the character. Let her get more feelings toward the character. And let her go with it. And I think she could do a fantastic job of rising this character from the ashes of bullshit. So, Batwoman is my number 2 pick. For my number 1, this is going to sound a little hokey, but, you know, when I think of this title, and I think of the characters involved, I would have to see at least a short story, or at least a mini-series involving this franchise, involving the characters connected to this franchise. I just think Gail would fit in nicely. I think Gail would work with a title like this just like she did for titles like Red Sonja and Conan. Well, she didn't write a Conan series. I'm talking about the Red Sonja Conan crossovers and stuff. But my number 1 pick, Xena, Warrior Princess. I know we're getting a Xena series here very shortly. It's fixing to start very shortly here, actually. But if I think of, one of the first writers I can think of, right off the top of my head, who I would like to see write this character, write the characters involved with this, it's Gail. And I think if you take these characters, you leave their character development intact, but you branch it out and you write it, and she writes it in a similar way she did Red Sonja. Not a carbon copy of the storytelling she did with Red Sonja, but give us that same connection with Xena that you did give us with Red Sonja. You give us that same embrace. I think it would work. I really do. I would personally love to see what she would do. You know, you can have Hercules and Iola's guest star in a couple of issues, or, you know, further expand on Xena and Gabrielle. Hell, you can have Xena and Gabrielle get fucking married. You know, if written properly, and if Gail really put her heart and soul into it, I think it would be great. Give us new twists and swerves and storylines with Xena's involvement with the gods and all that stuff. I really think that she would nail this series very well. But there you go. There's my 10 titles / characters for my part of the Gail Simone Challenge. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you watched this, what did you think? Give me some feedback. Bro, Chris, what did you think? Serena, my dear, what did you think? And Gail, my friend, if you're watching this, please, I gotta know what you think about this, because it took me about a couple of days to really think about how I wanted to put this list together. What are my reasonings for picking these things? And I put a lot of heart into this, and I would personally like some feedback. You know, what did you think? Did you like it? Did you not like it? You know, it's, you know, if you loved it, great. If you didn't, that's fine. You know, but, you know, I had fun with this. I felt like I was doing an assignment for college, and I was just having fun with it. This was a fun thing to do. I really enjoyed this, and I'm so glad that I decided to do this, the Gail Simone Challenge. So that's it for this video, everybody. And if you wanted to make this a drinking game and take a shot for every time I said Gail Simone, please don't blame your alcohol poisoning on me. Thanks for watching, everybody. You know, all kidding aside, I want to thank y'all for watching. I had fun. I hope you did too. I hope you were entertained. So, until next time, everybody, I am Groot, and I'll see y'all later.